Hi, my name is Evangeline Lilly, and I am speaking to you right now from Rwanda. Otherwise, I would be with you. I would really love to be with you. I am an actress, an author, an activist, a humanitarian, and it seems I have been a divester since 2005 without even knowing it. When I first started investing my money about 10 years ago, I knew that money was one of the most significant shapers of our modern world. And so I approached my new money managers and requested that my investments be in line with my ethics. At the time, I knew that I wasn't alone, but I wasn't aware of any formal community doing this kind of investing. My money managers were extremely curious and obliging, even though my requests were fairly extreme. I have very rigid ethics and relatively novel back then. I used to go through every single holding in my portfolio that my managers would propose and see if there were companies in there whose business model I considered destructive to humanity or to nature in any kind of significant way, and then I would request that that fund be removed entirely. It was arduous, but it felt like it was worth it. But back then, I was warned that I would likely have to take a hit in the performance of my money because of the limits that my standards put on my options. I told them, if I lose my shirt trying to make the world a better place, I'll feel better about myself than if I make a fortune supporting abuse and destruction. Well, I haven't lost my shirt. As you can see, here it is on my body. And in fact, a few years along the way, I have received an excited and relatively bewildered call from my money managers telling me that my portfolio was outperforming the rest of their clients who had more standard investments. In a social climate where overwhelmingly the little guy feels powerless, where the 99% feel pitted against the 1%, I continue to go back to the power of a dollar. As a kid, my family had very little, and I was taught to value every penny. So now when I see the state of our world and of our politics, I'm constantly looking at where we all put our money. I think about what would happen to the balance of power if we all put our money where our ethics are. And I marvel at the profundity of the change that we would see overnight in the distribution of wealth and control in our world. Though this is easier imagined than done, when I first heard about the DivestInvest movement recently, I was inspired. I was so inspired to realize that this notion is not far-fetched or just a dream, but it's actually an organized, growing reality, a reality that's spreading, a reality that now has reclaimed over 5 billion of the world's dollars. This is the power of DivestInvest. It unites those of us who silently wonder what we can do and gives us something powerful and simple that we can do together as a collective, as the 99%ers and the 1%ers, as individuals and organizations, to not only exercise our freedom of choice, but to contribute to making a better world, while also making sound, profitable investments. I speak to you from 10 years of experience in responsible investing. Following your convictions isn't a fool's errand. I have been so successful with my investments to date that I am pledging another $500,000 to divested investments this year, and it feels amazing. I'm doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my conscience, I'm doing it for my pocketbook, but mostly I'm doing it for my children. Because what good would it be for me to leave them a healthy trust fund if the world they have to spend it in is burning? So, will you join me?